New details tonight on the massive federal raid at an unauthorized club. Over 150 migrants were detained off of Bassi and San Pedro last weekend.
We are about to show you how federal agents just pulled off one of the most massive cartel takedowns in San Antonio history, and I'm not exaggerating. In November 2025, a single operation ended with 143 people in handcuffs, 51 confirmed gang members arrested, and enough cocaine, guns, and cash seized to make your head spin. But that's just scratching the surface. In this video, you'll see how San Antonio became ground zero for a federal war against some of the world's most dangerous drug cartels.
A major drug bust in the heart of downtown San Antonio. Bexar County deputies say they seized roughly 10 kilos of methamphetamine laced with fentanyl.
From Los Zetas hitmen getting 7 life sentences to multi-million-dollar oil smuggling operations funding terrorism, all the way down to the Venezuelan gang that literally operates out of a makeshift nightclub. Yeah, this is real life, and it's happening right now in Texas. So let's talk about what went down on November 16, 2025, at 3:00 in the morning. Federal agents from the FBI, ICE, and 12 other agencies surrounded a location on San Pedro Avenue near Bass Road in San Antonio. This wasn't just any raid. This was the first major operation by the newly formed Homeland Security Task Force for South Texas, and what they found was absolutely insane. See, for months, this property had been operating as an illegal after-hours nightclub, but it wasn't serving regular customers. According to federal investigators, this place was crawling with members of Tren de Aragua, one of Venezuela's most violent transnational gangs. The music was blasting, people were drinking, and cocaine was being sold openly. But when those sirens started wailing at 3 a.m., everything changed. Surveillance footage captured the chaos. Dozens of people started running in every direction. Flashbangs lit up the darkness. And within minutes, federal agents had 143 people detained. But here's where it gets wild. Out of those 143 arrests, 51 were confirmed members of Tren de Aragua. That's not just some random bust. That's a significant chunk of a criminal organization operating on American soil. And what did agents find inside? Cocaine, 3 firearms, and roughly $35,000 in cash. But the real discovery was the operation itself, because Tren de Aragua isn't just some street gang. This organization started in Venezuelan prisons and has since expanded across South America and into the United States. They're involved in everything from human trafficking and smuggling to contract killings and extortion. And they just got caught running a criminal hub disguised as a nightclub in San Antonio. But look, if you think that's the only cartel problem San Antonio's dealing with, you're dead wrong. Because the DEA, ICE, and FBI have been fighting a full-scale war against multiple cartels in this city for years. And the body count, the drug seizures, and the life sentences tell a story that's honestly terrifying. Let's rewind to 2015. That's when federal agents arrested a man named Marciano Millan Vasquez in San Antonio, and this dude wasn't just any cartel member. He was a high-ranking Los Zetas assassin who eventually became the boss of the Piedras Negras Plaza, which is basically a drug trafficking corridor between Mexico and the United States. And when I say this guy was dangerous, I mean it. According to court testimony, Vasquez was personally responsible for at least 29 murders in northern Mexico between 2009 and 2015. But it gets worse. Witnesses in his trial described unspeakable acts of violence. Vasquez would brutally murder anyone who got in his cartel's way, and in some cases, he forced family members to watch their loved ones die before killing them too. In fact, testimony revealed that Vasquez participated in the massacre of numerous people in Piedras Negras and Allende, Mexico, back in March 2011, when Los Zetas went on a killing spree that left entire communities traumatized. So what happened to him? In 2017, a federal judge in San Antonio sentenced Vasquez to 7 consecutive life imprisonment sentences. That's not 7 years. That's 7 lifetimes behind bars, and according to the DEA, SLI, and Texas Department of Public Safety, this conviction was the result of a massive multi-agency investigation involving the U.S. Marshals Service, Border Patrol, ATF, FBI, and multiple Texas law enforcement agencies. But Vasquez isn't the only Los Zetas member who got taken down in San Antonio. Because the Los Zetas cartel has been one of the biggest threats to American communities for decades. Originally formed as the armed enforcers for the Gulf Cartel in the late 1990s, Los Zetas recruited former members of the Mexican Army Special Forces, but over time, they broke away and became one of the most violent and powerful drug trafficking organizations in Mexico. And their reach extends deep into the United States. In fact, one investigation revealed that a Los Zetas network operating out of San Antonio trafficked more than 180,000 pounds of marijuana, hundreds of kilograms of cocaine, over $18 million in U.S. currency, dozens of firearms, and thousands of rounds of ammunition. That investigation resulted in 18 federal convictions, with sentences ranging from probation to 20 years in federal prison. But Los Zetas isn't the only cartel wreaking havoc in San Antonio. Because recently, the DEA, FBI and ICE uncovered something even more disturbing. In May 2025, federal authorities indicted a father and son duo from Utah for allegedly providing material support to the Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación, also known as Cocaine. And get this, Cocaine was officially designated as a foreign terrorist organization by the U.S. Secretary of State in February 2025. So what were these guys doing? According to the indictment, Maxwell Sterling Jensen and James Lael Jensen operated a company called Arroyo Terminals in Rio Hondo, Texas, and they allegedly conspired to launder millions of dollars in crude oil proceeds to support CJNG's operations. Yeah, you heard that right. Crude oil. Because apparently, oil is the largest funding source for Mexican drug cartels, and this operation, dubbed Operation Liquid Death, involved the combined efforts of the DEA, FBI, ICE, and IRS to take down what they described as a complex criminal operation, generating millions of dollars for one of the world's most violent cartels. According to DEA Acting Special Agent in Charge William Kimball, what started as a drug trafficking investigation evolved into a multifaceted case with profound implications for both the United States and Mexico. And FBI Special Agent in Charge Aaron Tapp of the San Antonio Field Office made it clear that eliminating foreign terrorist organizations by cutting off their funding is a top priority. But here's the thing. These aren't isolated incidents. San Antonio has become a major battleground in the federal government's fight against transnational criminal organizations. And the numbers are staggering. In one massive nationwide operation targeting the Sinaloa cartel in August 2025, the DEA arrested more than 600 people with ties to the cartel across 23 U.S. field divisions. They seized 480 kilograms of fentanyl, 2,209 kilograms of methamphetamine, and $11 million in cash. And San Antonio was right in the middle of it. In fact, the Sinaloa cartel, which has also been designated as a foreign terrorist organization, is one of the world's most powerful drug trafficking organizations. They're one of the largest producers involved in smuggling fentanyl, methamphetamine, and cocaine into the United States, and federal agents in San Antonio have been working tirelessly to dismantle their operations. But what makes San Antonio such a hotspot for cartel activity? Well, location. San Antonio is less than 150 miles from the Mexican border. It's a major transportation hub with highways connecting to every major city in Texas and beyond. And for cartels looking to move drugs, weapons and money across the country, San Antonio is the perfect staging ground. That's why the FBI and Homeland Security Investigations recently established the Homeland Security Task Force for South Texas. This joint operation is designed specifically to combat transnational criminal organizations operating in the region. And as we saw with the Tren de Aragua raid, they're not messing around. According to FBI San Antonio Acting Special Agent in Charge Alex Doran, the task force was created as a powerful tool in the fight against transnational organized crime. And in close collaboration with federal, state, and local law enforcement partners, their goal is to dismantle the cartels and criminal networks responsible for violent crime, human trafficking, and drug smuggling. And they're making progress. Since the task force was formed, they've already conducted multiple operations resulting in hundreds of arrests. The November 2025 raid alone detained 143 people from multiple countries, including 98 Venezuelans, 21 Hondurans, 14 Mexicans, 4 Cubans, 2 Ecuadorians, and 1 each from Nicaragua, Peru, Guatemala, and El Salvador. And out of those 143 people, 25 had criminal histories in the United States, including 13 felonies and 12 misdemeanors. But the fight is far from over. Because as federal agents dismantle one operation, another one pops up. That's the nature of the cartel business. These organizations are incredibly adaptable, well-funded, and ruthless. They'll do whatever it takes to keep their operations running, even if it means setting up shop in American cities like San Antonio. And the violence is real. Remember ICE Special Agent Jaime Zapata? In 2011, he was ambushed and murdered by Los Zetas members in Mexico while on assignment. His death sent shockwaves through the law enforcement community and highlighted just how dangerous these cartels really are. They don't care about borders, badges, or diplomatic immunity. If you get in their way, they'll take you out. That's why operations like Operation Liquid Death and the Homeland Security Task Force raids are so critical. Federal agencies are using every tool at their disposal, from financial investigations to search warrants to multi-agency task forces, to dismantle these organizations piece by piece. They're targeting not just the trigger pullers and drug dealers, but also the enablers, the money launderers, and the business people who help cartels operate. So what's next? Well, according to federal officials, this is just the beginning. The fight against transnational criminal organizations is a top priority for the Department of Justice under Operation Take Back America, a nationwide initiative that marshals the full resources of federal law enforcement to eliminate cartels and protect American communities. And in San Antonio, the DEA, ICE, FBI, and their partners are continuing to execute search warrants, make arrests, and seize drugs, weapons, and cash. They're working around the clock to keep cartels from turning American cities into war zones. So here's what you need to do. Hit that subscribe button right now. And drop a comment below telling us which cartel operation shocked you the most. Was it the Los Zetas hitman getting 7 life sentences, the father and son smuggling millions in oil money, or that insane Tren de Aragua nightclub raid? Let us know.